Okay, my name is Natasha Malone. I play Amber.
Okay, April.
And my name is April Marcell, and I played Paula.
Okay, Antonio.
My name is Antonio Harrison Jr., and I play Rashad.
Mimi.
Hi, I'm Mimi Sanchez, and I play the doctor.
All right, and last but not least, Darryl.
I'm Darryl Longley. I played Jamal. I played the Agnostic.
Okay, all right, and this question is to everybody. Anybody can answer this question. Without giving away the film, can you tell me what The Agnostic is about?
I would say it's definitely a faith-based film.
Okay.
I mean, in a nutshell, I think it's basically, there's a woman who's going through things in life, all types of trials and tribulations, things that we actually go through on a day to day, and she's looking to God for answers, and she meets an individual who doesn't quite believe in what she believes in, and she's torn, with all the things that are going on. She's torn between um, God, her creator, her provider, or this guy who is flesh to her for the most part. So which way do I go? Do I trust God and roll that way, or do I trust the flesh with this guy who I really, really want? You know what I mean? Especially
Right.
when she's going through all the stuff that she's going through. She needs some type of companionship.
And that lead character is Terrell Hicks, correct?
Yes.
And opposite of Terrell Hicks is Darryl.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So you played the leading man. Can you tell me from your perspective who your character is and what part you play in the film?
I am Jamal in this film, The Agnostic, and I am, I guess, you can call me Temptation. I don't know. You could call me a learning experience because, day to day we do have we have our temptations and things like that. And, we got to, like Mimi said, it's a faith-based film. So you got to know where to put your priorities at and what, your beliefs at in this film. Or, not even in this film, just in life, you know what I mean? So it's a real life experience film. I love it. I was blessed to even land that part, you know what I'm saying, for something like this,
Right.
Yeah.
And is this your first leading role?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Uh,
Yeah.
how was that experience for you? I don't know how long you've been acting, but how was that experience for you working aside of Terrell Hicks?
Look, I called I called my brother on the way home one day. Probably the second day of film. I called my brother, say, man, hey man, she killing me, man. She kicking my butt, man. So I just remember that experience, and I remember just wondering what it's gonna be like working with her, man. She's cool. She's real laid back. She awesome to work with. So that made the experience even easier. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I know the third day I kind of had to tighten up a little bit, going there a little more focused. And then after this we filmed and everything. Frank was like, man, I watched you grow on this film. I watched you grow from the first day till the last day. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to put the energy. I had to match her energy because you got to. Yeah.
Right. Definitely, most definitely you do. So who wrote the film? You said Frank. What's Frank's last name?
Yeah,
Frankie
Jackson Jr.,
Jackson.
right?
Hmm.
Frankie
Yeah.
Jackson Jr. I said it right, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And can I ask everybody, when it came to receiving the script, um, how did you know, or did you know which character you were going to play going into this, and then what drew you into wanting to play that character?
I was aware of the character that I'd be playing when I was offered to look over the script. And I would say overall, I was like, okay, this will be different for me as an actor playing like a supporting cast member, but also playing a intricate part of the film as her best friend who knows a lot of the situation. So it's kind
Hmm.
of like having to be that person who is constantly on the fence with their feelings, listening to what she's going through, trying to be that great friend, but also maintaining this thing that I know, because I know so much about everybody that's in the film. So it's like I'm the secret holder, like the person that just knows everything. So having to listen to my friend go through what she's going through and then have to, remain positive, support her, even though Amber is like a true Christian, like the agnostic thing. She had to be sold on it basically because she was just like, ain't no way, don't do it.
Hmm.
So I thought that was a cool character. So I was really interested when I read the script. The script was great. Yeah.
Okay. And April?
Yes, I'm just going to piggyback off of what Natasha said. I knew what role I was playing when I came into it. I just thought what drew me in was the writing. I thought the writing was very strong. And it was such a testament to being tested. If you're a Christian, so many times the devil slash enemy want to come in and test you,
Hmm.
to see if you will stand. So it immediately drew me in because of that. So good writing.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Antonio.
As for me, man, I got the phone call, and I was also told about what character he wanted to cast me as. And after reading it, it sparked my interest because first of all, it's something different than what I've done before, and I've always wanted a faith-based film under my belt.
Hmm.
So I've been actually waiting for something like this to come through. Secondly, it's just one of those things where you kind of read it, and I like to relate a lot of characters to real life, and I think this is about real life, and people go through these things on a regular basis, trying to figure out good and evil, right and wrong, however you want to, lay it down, and just to kind of see, and what's crazy is that you face those issues mostly when tragedy happens.
Hmm.
So that's when we're mostly tested, right? When tragedy, it's easy to people say it's hard to do right, but easy to do wrong.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
so sometimes when tragedy strikes, that's when you really see who you are as an individual and all the things you learned in life, all the morals and things like that you acquired or encountered through parents, family, friends, people on the streets, whatever. That's when you battle tested. This is the show who you. This is when you see who you really are and what you're made of. So I definitely wanted to get on there and help convey this message, man. And hopefully people see it, enjoy it, and learn from it.
All right. And Mimi.
Hey, I want to piggyback on everybody. Don't mean to be a copycat, y'all. But it was awesome. I've been a part, like Antonio said, a part of a lot of projects, some crazy ones, some that I won't even mention. But to be able to be a part of a movie that can inspire someone and have them to be reminded that they can trust in God no matter what the situation is it was one for the books, and my role was the doctor, and I was told that that is the role that I was selected for.
Okay. All
I
right.
went out of order a little bit, but
No, no, that's all right. And so let me backtrack a little bit and ask each of you, when and how did you get into acting? Because to my understanding, some of you might be newer than others. Am I right?
yeah, I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah.
So if you could kind of give me a brief history as to when and how you got into acting.
I started acting when I was 8 years old. I basically told my mom I wanted to act, and
Mhm.
she would just take me on different auditions and stuff like that. So I did a lot of local things like plays and some theater. But I took a break, and then after high school, I realized I wanted to get serious about it, and that's when I actually started auditioning for roles. I actually met Frank after high school, and at the time, which is kind of funny, he was at my church, and he was doing some of the audio visual for our church,
Uh-huh.
and he had an idea for a film he wanted to do, and he was like, "I think you'd be great. You should try out." So I did, and then we did a film like this. Like I said, this is like the first film I ever did years ago when I was like, yeah, 16. And so I would say technically my film career started at 16, and then from there kind of just um, over the years it became what it is now. So I've done a little television as well, but I'm not as consistent as I should be. But I would say, yeah, it's been like a 13-year career. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go backwards, and now I'm gonna ask Mimi.
Okay, so I'm up next. For me, I was doing hair and makeup for plays and kind of like in the background helping
Mhm.
out with the production side. And the first time a young lady didn't show up for set, because I would come during hair and makeup already dressed, done, all of that. They was like, Mimi, we just need to put you right here. She only had a couple of lines, and then I had got written into the script because she just
Wow.
dropped out completely. But that little taste of it made me want to pursue it
Hmm.
wholeheartedly. So I began taking some acting classes, and right off the back, it was unbelievable. I had TV1 reach out to me, BET, VH1,
Wow.
and there are people that are way more experienced than me that just, I was like, well, why did they pick me? But why not pick me? But, so I had a lot of great experiences immediately, and then I did some plays, which was frightening for me at first, but that's when you come alive. Like, I really enjoy theater. I like the feedback from the audience. I like the push that it gives you.
Hmm.
And that's pretty much it. I don't want to take too much time.
Now that's awesome, man. Darryl, what about you?
Let's see. I got my first introduction into acting. I think it was 2010. Um, I just started asking around, man. I just so always. My mother used to tell me back, and I remember back when I was a kid. My mom she said, "You always ask me how do I get on TV? How did I get on TV?" So my mom said, "You used to always ask me that." And I remember asking her that a couple times, but I remember I went to college and uh, I'm still kind of private. I'm not private now, but when I first started to acting, a lot of people not into it like you are. So I remember I used to take acting classes way on the backside of USF campus. Man, nobody used to go back there. It wasn't a no curriculum. It wasn't a business major. It wasn't a mark. You know what I mean? It was just back there. So I used to sneak back there. I had to take some acting classes. And I said, man, this is really what I wanted to do, but I don't want to major in it. So that was my first acting class when I was at USF. And then 2010, that's when we did this courtroom, uh, whatever. It was a shorty film. My first film was a shorty film,
Hmm.
and I didn't get the part for the full film, so that actually gave me a little spark right there that I did a shorty film. And then when the full came, I didn't get. I was like, hold on, I thought, you know what I mean? But that's the business part of it. That
Right.
actually sparked me something in me that I gotta make sure that I get that part. You know what I mean? So, but it came back as a little kid when I was always wanted to be on TV. I always wanted to be an actor, and I did the plays also. I think that's something that's a lot of actors may want to try. It just gets your improv skills rolling. Sometimes you veer off the script. You got to get back on the script. So I like the stage plays. It lets your improv skills get a little buffered up there. So and
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
think.
now I
I
got
think.
this part. We got the agnostic now. That's it. That's it. We got the agnostic,
Right. I
and
think doing a little bit of improv probably helps when it comes to being in front of camera as well. It probably strengthens. your acting ability and
Right.
kind of shakes off some of that some of the nerves and stuff that you might have
It
because you're
does.
a live audience. And then now when you're in front of a camera, it doesn't seem as nerve wracking, you know. April, what about you?
Wow. So I always felt like I was sort of pushed into it. And not to tell a sad story or anything, because it's God basically got his glory out of it.
Hmm.
This was right during the time when my husband was killed.
Uh-huh.
And this lady in my church, this was back in 94. So I've been doing this for quite some time. Um, I guess she was trying to get me involved, get me to do things because, I had suffered this tragedy.
Hmm.
So she said, I want you to write a Christmas play for the church. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I've never written a play or anything like that because I was always into music. But
Hmm.
she was like, yeah, I know you can do it. And she walked away. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm not doing it, but to make a long story short, I ended up doing it.
Uh-huh.
But when I saw the play, it was called The Christmas Angel. I'll never forget it. And when I saw the play, when we did it, it was like I knew that when I saw the impact it had on the people, I knew I was going to continue to do it. And it just stemmed from me being in them and creating characters. And I've been acting ever since and still writing. So,
Wow. Okay, so
yeah.
you're a screenwriter slash actor. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Awesome.
can say that.
Okay, and Antonio, I also know that you're a two-time Emmy nominated actor. You have multiple awards under your belt. Can you also speak to that? But when did you get your start? And then we could talk a little bit about the awards and the nomination.
All right, for me, man, being where I'm from, we you had to do what you had to do to get out of there, man. And football was my savior. So I played football all throughout high school, college. Got hurt in college. Was at the NFL's combine in 2010. Got called back by Milwaukee Iron to go play in Milwaukee. Um, and just I don't know, man. I started thinking about some things. Football is a brutal sport, and the more along you get, man, these guys get faster. They hit harder. They bigger. Um,
Mhm.
as was I. You know what I mean? Nothing I'm shying away from. But you start thinking about
Right.
longevity because at that, you start to age a little bit. You start thinking about what you really want to do with your life.
Hmm.
At 60, I want to be able to run around with my kids. I don't want to lose my mind and that type of stuff with the concussions and all that good old stuff. So I started having some second
Hmm.
thoughts. So I ended up going to real quick a local school called the Art Institute of Washington and pursued my degree in digital media production. So I wanted to learn the behind the camera stuff. Now before that, just to kind of rewind, when I was a kid, Martin was my guy. You know what I mean? Martin, Will Smith of Fresh Prince, Denzel Washington, all these guys really inspired me, man. And I started
Right.
just and even Jim Carrey. I just kind of mimicked a lot of stuff they would do, and me and my friends would say like little quotes from the movies and stuff like that. And I kind of started falling in love with it at that time, but didn't even know that that's ultimately what I wanted to do. At the end of the day, I'm an athlete. So just real quick, man, got my degree in digital media production, and in one of the classes, it was called self acting techniques or something like that. So you had to in all of our groups, you had to have one person on camera, one gaffer, one this, one that, and then you had to act in some of your own projects. And
Hmm.
I started acting in some of my projects, man. I was getting feedback that I wouldn't even imagine how to get. So I'm like, oh wait, man, wait a minute. This when I was younger, this guy used to say, you have to find your niche, right? And at that time, I didn't know what niche meant. And he was like,
Hmm.
you'll know what your purpose is in this world once you find your niche. And that stuck with me, man. So I looked it up and I saw what it was about. And fast forward, when I was getting these compliments and stuff and acting, then everybody started using me in their projects, right? So you ain't supposed to do that. You're supposed to just use the group that you're with. But everybody was like, I want Tony. Yo, tell Tony to come over here, and be this. Hey, Tony, can you play this role? Tony, can you play this role? So now, before you know it, I'm in all the stuff in the schools. And honestly, man, I was supposed to make that phone call back to Milwaukee, coming to camp and all that good old stuff, and I didn't. And
Mm.
I started looking at both things, and I realized that I think this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? Ain't no bumps, ain't no bruising. I can do this till I'm 85, 90. I can throw the football with my kids. I can,
Right.
go out there and swim. I can do everything and not worry about broken bones and bad and all that. And football was my life. But this kind of took over, man. I feel like I made a conscious decision to do something that was going to give me longevity. So here we go, man. I
Mm.
went to a competition out in LA. I had signed with this group called Nova International, and went to this competition out in LA. It was called WACOPA, the World Championships of Performing Arts. And man, I went out there and did a fantastic job. I was nervous, I was scared, I knew what I was doing, but I had faith. You know what I mean? And that I think that was because from there I won like 7 medals, and then you won this medal called the Industry Award. And with the Industry Award, they only give that to people that they feel belong in the industry. So when I got
Mhm.
that, man, that was probably one of those things where I was like, I'm here. Like this
Right.
it. Like, I'm gonna chase this thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then that's where the path began, and then from there you had to learn the rejections. You did a great job. You filmed something, your whole part got cut. I'm hearing every time you get a no, you're closer to your yes. So it
Mhm.
made me even stronger in life mentally. You know what I mean? To deal with rejections of life. Jobs and people come, people go. So it just I feel like it's a whole conglomeration of things, man, that put me into it, that let me know that this is me. Like this is where I am. Real quick to get to the Emmy stuff, I went to an audition for a show called Anacostia, shot by Anthony Anderson.
Okay.
Um,
Right.
and I auditioned for a role. I got the role of Q. I've been rocking and rolling with that. We're going into 7 seasons now. We've had all types of people: Lauren Martin, Elizabeth Hubbard, Martha Byrne, Jennifer Bassey. All of these big time soap operas that all of our moms and dads have seen on shows were coming
Mhm.
to this show, and that show helped me grow so much, man. And the more I grew, the stronger I got, and the more stuff he started feeding me. And from there, man, I let my wings out, and I've just been flying and soaring ever since, man. So that's the 2 Emmy nominations and the
No,
HAPA
that's
Award win that we got last year for Best Supporting Actor.
yeah, man. Congratulations. That is
Thank you,
awesome.
man. I appreciate it, man.
And Natasha, let me ask you. You are also a director, producer, filmmaker. Can you speak a little bit about some of the projects that you have under your belt?
Yeah, we have a few projects under Tubi. We have one called White Lies that came out about a year ago. That's starring myself. Um, we also have a project that's getting ready to come out actually the same day as Agnostic, called Ice. That one is also it's actually starring Blake Bailey, who plays the husband to Terrell Hicks' character here in The Agnostic. So he's
Okay.
actually in that film. He'll be starring in that film Ice that comes out December 19th. And both White Lies and Ice were both also written by Frankie Jackson Jr. So
Okay. And then
yeah,
the Agnostic comes out December 19th as well.
yes,
Awesome.
yeah.
How excited are you guys to see this film? You know, once it premieres, how excited are you guys? Have you guys watched it yet? Have you seen it?
No.
Nah,
So this will be
Excited
your first
though.
time watching it since actually acting in it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What are you expecting? What do you expect the response is going to be? Anybody?
For
This
me,
is for
I'm
anybody.
interested to see how it plays out, man. I think that it touches so many different um um I don't know the exact word I want to use, but it goes in a couple different directions. Some might surprise you. Um,
Mhm.
I think everybody did a fantastic job. As a cast, collaboratively, we did what we had to do. to bring this thing to life, man. And I think, and they kind of let us kind of go free with some of the choices that we've made. So I'm interested to see how some of those things happen.
Yeah,
I'm
that was.
interested.
Oh, I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
I'm,
Go ahead, Darryl.
I'm kind of interested to see how it's gonna look. Um, it shows you two sides of things. It shows you the Christian side, right? And then it shows you the agnostic side. I don't know how emotionally people gonna be like, oh, he over here, he said he talking this, you know what I'm saying? He talking that, and
Right.
then you go on the other side, and she, hallelujah, you know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be just a twist and a tie in there. Like I wonder if people gonna bite that, like, man, this, I don't know what it's gonna do, you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see what the turnout's gonna be with that. Yeah.
Anybody
For
else want?
me, it's always exciting to see the finished product, see what cuts got made, how they pieced it together, how it flows, and just to see the final product. It's just like cooking a meal. You cut up the bell peppers and onions, and you do that part. Then you put the butter in the saucepan, and like when it all comes together, you like, wow, this is good.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and I'm just excited, and I just can't wait to see the message come forth, because that's what I'm all about is the meat portion, the message. What is the message of this film? So I think it's going to be it's a powerful message, because a lot of people, especially in this day and time, we see a lot of um, right being called wrong, and wrong being called right.
Right.
So it's like the world doesn't has a hard time seeing God. So the message is so important for a dying world. So I think that is very important to me. So I'm excited about that part. You know, I'm praying for the film, and just asking God to do a great work with it. So
Absolutely.
yes.
It's an important message for couples too, though. Like it's like if you're a couple, if you're in a relationship or something like that, and you're watching it, it might be an important message for you as a couple too. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like
I agree.
you got to ask yourself. It's gonna raise some eyebrows at the end. You got to ask yourself. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it?
Right.
you know?
It's answering a lot of questions, I'm sure,
Yeah.
and tackling a lot of serious topics. And just off of the title alone, it kind of piques your interest as, okay, well, where is this story going? I like the fact that we're actually getting a lot more faith-based films and TV shows in a atmosphere and a climate where we weren't getting as many, or they weren't really seeing the light of day unless it was what you were looking for. So I like that, and I commend you guys for creating such films, and then also it's helping pave more of a wider lane for more of these types of films to come, whether it be independent and on the major side of things. Um, can I ask, how long did it take for you guys to film The Agnostic? How many days were you all shooting?
I think this was filmed it was filmed quickly. I think I did my part. I think I wrapped in maybe 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Right? Yeah, because we know that once that film schedule came, I looked at it, I was like, man, we gonna be doing a lot. And then as compared to other stuff that I've done, and I'm doing something right now, it just so spread out. You know what I mean? So we was making some good progress. We was moving. Yeah.
Okay. Um, for each of you, what was it like your first day on set? Can you guys kind of speak to what it is that you had to do first day on set? And I'm not sure how many how lengthy your parts are in the film, but can you kind of just give like a little bit of a behind the scenes of what a day in the life was like on set, maybe your first day?
So as for me, man, I literally had to get out of myself and become someone else, which is what acting is anyway. You know what I mean? They say
Mhm.
that the best acting is when you're not acting. Um, so for my role, he a wild dude. You know what I mean? He's a wild dude, man. He took it to some limits. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, if you think extremist, you got it. You know what I mean? So as for me, it just I had a lot. I see you laughing. See, hey, look, it was I just ah yeah. I had to go to a different place, man. And give it a little something different. I spoke to Frank about where it was supposed to be, and
Mhm.
because I had to check levels. I mean, that's one thing I always do. I never want to disrespect the director or a writer. I always want to make sure that I'm right on par with what he wants to do or what she wants to do. Um, so he told me, he was like, "Look, it's on you. You know, wherever you see it should be, is where it should be." So I might have took it an octave or two higher, baby. I mean, I had to, I had to give them what they asked me for, man. You know what I mean? I had to really be this what do you call it, the antagonist for the most part.
Okay.
You know, so we're gonna see how that panned out, man. But it was fun. It was very fun working alongside Darryl and Tasha. I don't think I've ever worked with Mimi and April, but I worked with Darryl. I worked with Natasha, Terrell. It was fun. You know what I mean? It was fun, man.
Well, I had a very short part, and I came in from the Virginia Beach area, and when I got there, they were already rolling.
Hmm.
I didn't know anybody there but Frank, and the I just he told me when it's time for my part, you just do what I add. We talked about it before I got there, and it was a my character was an easy character for me to play
Hmm.
because I could identify with that character because that's how I am. She was more like the encourager, trying to encourage her, don't forget where you came from, remember your roots, you were brought up in a church or you're a Christian, so, don't try to change that. So that
Hmm.
was my role, and that was easy for me to do. So it was like nature to me. And it went by quick. Just as soon as I got there, I was on the road, go heading back. So
So no rehearsals ahead of time. I take it that you all probably received your script or received the parts that you were going to do. Uh, were able to read over them ahead of time, but no rehearsal or practice.
We did a
Um,
table. We did one table read.
Mm-mm.
One table
Yeah.
read.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Was it the day before? Wait, wait,
My
wait.
script
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mimi.
My script was given to me on site. So while I was kind of waiting, I had to kind of run my lines and get into character. And, so I'm a doctor. I don't have a reoccurring role. So it
Mhm.
was something that I could knock out.
So you guys mentioned earlier, a couple of you mentioned earlier that you've been on major sets before. What would you say is the a key difference between working on a major set and working on an independent set?
Um.
I would say, oh, go ahead, Daryl.
No, go ahead, Tasha. Yeah.
All right. I would say that the two big differences is independent sets seem to move faster, whereas major has so many different components and different things going on constantly that you may be waiting for your time to come up and do what you gotta do for hours.
Hmm.
Like you might have two lines and it'll take them an hour and a half to set your two lines up. So it's like I prefer independent just because of the time, you know. The second thing I would say is on an independent set, you get to actually know who you're working with a little bit better. Because in those in between takes, you might go off, try to, get to know who you're running lines with, see if maybe there's something that you can switch or change, or if you want to add something here. And you have time to actually go to the director and say, hey, look, we're thinking about doing this. What do you think about this? And it may
Right.
actually go off better than what was written. So you have that ability to be flexible on an independent set, whereas major is like, this is what the script is, so just do it. So I would say those two things.
Yeah. And Antonio, were you gonna say something?
Nah, man, I think she killed that. I mean, she was all the
Okay.
way. She knocked that one all the way
I
home, man.
agree.
In every aspect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What was it like working with Terrell Hicks? And I'm not sure if all of you met her, or only certain individuals met her and worked with her or have worked with her in the past. Can y'all speak to working with Terrell Hicks?
I like the energy, man. It's just, you can tell sometimes you can sit by somebody and you're like, oh, I don't feel right. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I like the energy. She didn't come in with no cocky attitude either. You know what I mean? She was real. And she just told me a lot. She taught me a lot. And, I was just so overwhelmed that I didn't, like, she kind of brought the overwhelmness down a little bit, So I just want to commend her for that. Working with her, it was an awesome experience. Yeah.
Did she give you any pointers, Darryl?
Yeah, she gave me some pointers. And I mean, we talked a few times. Just you get a split second. You might want to just pick her brain. She's been doing some things in Hollywood, and they steady calling her too. So might when we get the opportunity, you ask her some questions, and she's real knowledgeable of the industry and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Can anybody else speak to working with Terrell Hicks?
To me, she was.
It's freezing a little bit. I don't
Go
know if
ahead.
y'all
Natasha,
can
you can
hear
go
me,
ahead.
but it might be me.
You go ahead, April.
I was just going to say, I thought she was, because like I said, when I came in, it was like straight to the set, do my lines and be out.
Mm-hmm.
But, I've never worked with her before. I didn't get a chance to talk to her before doing our part. But she was very professional. And I mean, I think to me, we meshed really good with the characters. And she just made it easy. So it was
Okay.
very
I
easy.
agree. The experience with her was awesome. I'm definitely a fan, so I was excited to see her and be cast in a movie with her.
Yes.
So she was very pleasant, and it was a great experience.
Who is the director of this film?
Frankie Jackson Jr.
Yeah,
Oh,
Frank.
Frankie is the director as well. So the writer, director. Okay.
I think Terrell, she has some writing creds and she got some writing and directing
Mm-hmm.
creds in this.
Okay.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she did too.
She's on board as a producer as well. Is
Mm-hmm.
that okay? Um, okay. Well, while we are waiting on Mimi, I was just going to go around the room and ask, if you're able to speak on it, what is next for you? And we can start with Natasha.
What is next for me? I'm actually taking a break. Not because I want to, it's just because I'm working on music as well. So I wanted to focus on music, and kind of do what I can and get that out so I can fully focus on film. I can't only, it's like I can't do both. So I'm right now I'm about to just focus on music. But I do have Ice coming out, the film I directed. So
Mhm.
that and Agnostic coming out, and then I'll just promoting those two while I work on music. But I hope next year to get back into acting full time.
Okay. So, speaking of music, while you're working on your music, you can also make that music as a part of the soundtrack of some of your films
That's the
and get
plan.
some, okay, some of that licensing and sync money.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. April, what about
Got
you?
um, I have. I'm working on a few productions. But I have a film coming out February 13th called Mama's Hands. It deals with child abuse in the church.
Mm, mm,
But inspirational film is basically what I do. I'm working with my school, the elementary school that I work at. We are. I'm going to be doing a film with the students there. Um, I started like a little program called Let's Make a Film, and just teach students about how to make a film, and why why do we make films, why do we do what we do.
mm-hmm.
So I just got a few things coming up, so very busy.
Okay.
And the director of this film that we're talking about, he has already asked me about doing a project with him. So this, I don't know if he wants that out or not, but I'll be working with Frank again.
Right.
I'll just say that.
We didn't say the name of it, so that
We didn't say the name of it, no.
all right. That's awesome. Awesome. Antonio, what about you?
We're about to gear up for season 7 of Anacostia. Couple things I got coming out too. Y'all look out for a film called Forgetting Christmas with Victoria Rao,
Yes.
and the Alzheimer's Association. So we just came out with that. We premiered Sunday at the
Yeah.
AFI.
Amazing film, man.
Oh, you saw it?
Yes. Amazing film.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. Crazy. It'll touch you, man. It'll touch you.
It will.
Just got another one. We just premiered on last Thursday up in Gettysburg, PA, called Talons of the Phoenix. Lot of names in that one. Main was Costas Mandalore from the Saw series. Charmed. Fun dude to work with. Excellent film, man. It's a World War II clip, but it's got a lot of little comedy clips, drama clips. It's nasty. It's a nasty film. So that one's coming out too. Other than that, man, I'm auditioning and ready to go for the next big thing, man.
Awesome. Darryl, what about you, man?
Oh man, I got some small projects I'm doing. I do a lot of filming on the weekend. Like for real, like I do some filming on the weekend. And I got the Grudge Match. I got Windows.
Mm-hmm.
They just say I got a schedule with them. So like I said, I got what Frank was put together. The Agnostic. We knocked that in like 2-3 weeks, and then I got what I'm doing now. So I don't know. I just stay auditioning, stay writing as well. I like to write as well. So one day I do my own production.
Man, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just got to get to a point where I'm doing a lot of book reading and stuff, man. I'm just one day it's gonna come to a point where you get your own project, you get your own production. That's what I'm working on right now. So yeah,
Absolutely. And Mimi, what's next for you?
I am like Darryl. I'm doing some writing, and then recently, the Wesley Christmas, that's out. That's the most recent project that I was in, and
Mm.
then real estate. I'm a realtor, so
Okay. You getting that flip money.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, one last thing, I like to give everybody a chance to give a final word, whether it be advice, words of wisdom, or a quote that they live by. So anybody who would like to chime in first, feel free.
I got you, man. I tell people, first of all, if you believe it, not that you can achieve it, but you will achieve it. That's one. Um, a lot of times in this business, we get discouraged a lot, especially if we audition, nothing's coming, right? But what you do is sometimes just take a step back, take a deep breath, look at what's today, November 28th. Look at November
Hmm.
28th, 2023. Go back to November 28th, 2022. If you've made one positive move, then you're moving in the right direction. So never stop moving, man. Never stop auditioning. And so for every no, you're closer to your yes. That's all I got, baby.
I just want to say believe in yourself. All of you on the chat right now, I got a special place in my heart for y'all because y'all actors. And we
Word up.
go through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I empathize with y'all. Hey, keep the faith and keep going. And we're gonna see each other again. That's our we our own crew, we our own group, you know what I
For
mean?
sure.
I
Yeah.
don't talk to actors a lot. I don't, so when to be on the chat with actors is something special to me.
I like that.
Yeah.
Ladies, any words of advice, words of wisdom, quote, anything that you like to live by?
I guess for me, ultimately is definitely believing in God, keeping the faith, trying something new. Try to learn something new, if not every day, once
Mm,
a week. And, I believe the key to success is the ability to be respectful to others, respect yourself, and then always having a positive mindset, staying focused, and writing your goals out.
absolutely. April or Natasha?
Yes, there are so many things that you can say, but one of the things that stands out for me tonight is to always, even through your darkest times, have that faith because miracles still happen. Just believe in miracles. He's still a miracle worker. So if you can just believe that in any situation that you in, he can bring you out.
I love it. Natasha?
I would say whatever you want to do, just do it. Don't let nothing hold you back. And if you got to do it scared, do it scared, because that'll give you the ammo you need to keep going. So remember what you're doing it for, and keep going.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being a part of this interview. I appreciate everybody's time, their knowledge, their wisdom, their insight to the film, The Agnostic, which comes out December 19th on what platform?
Prime, right? Apple
Couple of
TV.
them.
Yeah,
Prime,
A
Apple
Apple
couple of them.
TV.
TV.
Apple
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 TV.
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 All
Yeah.
right. And thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody's patience. And congratulations to you guys. Keep going. Keep doing your thing. I am a supporter. I'm a cheerleader on the sidelines. And whatever I can do to help out, I will, because I want to see each and every one of you guys win. That's the whole purpose behind me doing the Black Script and providing a platform to show spotlight and highlight people of color and diverse backgrounds, because we don't get it enough. So
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
having.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you
absolutely,
for having us.
absolutely. You guys have a good night.
Good
All
night.
right,
Okay.
you
Thank you.
too.
You too.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See
Bye
Bye,
y'all
bye.
later.
everybody.
Bye.